What if I told you that right now, sitting quietly in a forgotten jar, hidden at the back of an old dresser or a rusted coffee tin in someone's garage, could be a tiny piece of metal worth more than a luxury car, worth more than most people make in a year? And you'd never even know it? Tonight, we're diving straight into the mysterious world of America's most secret treasures, the ultra-rare Jefferson War Nickels. These aren't just any nickels. These are the coins forged in the fire of history itself, born during World War II, molded in emergency silver, and now commanding prices that will make your jaw drop. I'm telling you right now, if you've got old nickels lying around, you'd better check them fast, because one of these might make you richer overnight. Stay with me till the very end, because the last coin on this list has a value that could literally change the way you look at your pocket change forever. This is U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, your home for America's hidden money mysteries, where every coin could be your next big treasure. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, because after today, you will never look at a nickel the same way again. Now let's begin with coin number 1, and trust me, you won't believe the story behind this one. Coin number 1, the 1942 P. Jefferson War Nickel. All right, treasure hunters, our first coin is one that looks ordinary at first glance, maybe even dull, a little scratched, covered in years of time's quiet dust. But beneath that gray-black surface, under those rusted shades and smooth edges, lies a hidden masterpiece of American wartime history, the 1942 P. Jefferson War Nickel. It's 1942, the world is at war. America's throwing everything into the fight. Nickel, one of the metals used for coinage, suddenly becomes strategic material. The U.S. Mint faces a dilemma. How do you keep minting nickels when the metal itself is needed for tanks, ships, and armor? The answer? A brand new composition, 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. Yes, you heard that right, silver. The Jefferson nickel became a coin born of necessity, a symbol of wartime innovation. But not all 1942 nickels were created equal. The early ones were still made of the old nickel composition. But the special war nickels, the silver ones, were minted with a bold new mark, a large P right above Monticello on the reverse. That P was not just a mint mark, it was a secret signature of history. It was the first time ever that the Philadelphia Mint had used a mint mark on a United States coin. Imagine that, a quiet little change that would one day separate the common from the legendary. Now let's talk about the one I'm holding, or the one you might have in your collection. Look closely. The front side has been worn smooth by time. Fine wrinkles and faint scratches whisper stories of every hand that has held it over the decades. The surface carries a rust-tinted shade, almost like an antique photograph, faded by the years. The backside, equally smooth, carries that haunting gray-black tone that makes it look like a coin pulled from the deep pages of history. You might think age and wear lower its value, but in the world of coin collecting, sometimes character is everything. That gentle corrosion and dark patina are like fingerprints, proof of authenticity, proof of its long journey. And believe me, collectors crave that. Now here's where it gets exciting, because not every 1942 piece survived. Many were melted down after the war. Countless others were spent, lost, forgotten, damaged beyond recognition. Finding one in any decent condition today is tough, but finding one that still carries its full wartime aura, its original detail, and that unmistakable mint mark, that is the holy grail of war nickels. And let me tell you this straight, the demand for these coins has exploded in the modern market. As silver prices climb, as collectors chase rarer and rarer pieces, the value of the 1942 P has shot up like a rocket. This very coin, in the fine condition you've just imagined, smooth surface, age-touched but authentic, is valued today at around $140,000. That's right. $140,000 for a single 5-cent coin. This is not a fantasy. This is not an exaggeration. This is today's market reality. The value keeps climbing, month after month. Experts are calling it one of the most promising wartime issues to hold, and it is quickly turning into a treasure that might soon break even higher records. Think about it, something so small, once used to buy a stick of gum, now considered a symbol of American resilience, a piece of art in metal, a true treasure you could hold in the palm of your hand. So here's my tip to every collector out there. When you hunt through your change or check those old rolls sitting in drawers, look for that large P above Monticello. That's your signal, your beacon. And if your 1942 nickel has that mark, treat it like gold. Don't clean it, don't polish it, just protect it. Because each scratch, each shadow tells its story, and that story could be your golden ticket to a fortune. And remember this, treasures don't always glitter. Sometimes they're quiet. Sometimes they hide in plain sight, wrapped in gray and rust, waiting for the right eyes to see their true worth. This is the beauty of coin collecting. It's not just about money, it's about connection, about touching a living piece of history that has survived wars, generations, and time itself. So keep your eyes open, collectors, because the next coin on our list might just outshine even this legend. And trust me, what you are about to see next will leave you speechless. Stay tuned, stay curious, because at US Coin War Secrets, we're revealing America's hidden treasures every single day. Your next great discovery might be just one nickel away. Next coin number 2, the 1943 S. Jefferson War Nickel. All right, treasure seekers, if you thought the last coin was shocking, brace yourself. Because this next one, this is where the legend of the war nickel takes an electrifying turn. The year is 1943. The world is deep in turmoil. Every factory, every shipyard, every heartbeat in America is pulsing with one mission: victory. But in the background, in a quiet minting room on the West Coast, a handful of small, shining silver nickels are being struck. Nickels that would one day be whispered about by collectors as some of the most mesmerizing artifacts of the Second World War. This is the 1943 S. Jefferson War Nickel. Now, don't let its calm surface fool you. The one we are looking at today tells its own powerful story. The front side, smooth, almost silky from decades of passage, carries that mysterious rustic gray sheen, almost like it has been kissed by time itself. If you tilt it to the light, faint emerald tone shimmer across the surface, little flashes of greenish shadow that seem to glow from inside the metal. That's the mark of true age, true history, a visual echo of 80 years in silence. Flip it over the reverse is equally haunting, worn, wrinkled, and wrapped in that same rust-dark patina. But there, standing proudly above Monticello, gleams the large, commanding S, the mark of San Francisco. That S isn't just a letter, it's a badge of wartime production, a symbol that this very coin came from one of America's most crucial mints during the height of global conflict. Let's step back into history for a second. By 1943, the U.S. had fully switched to the special wartime composition: 56% copper, 35% silver, 9% manganese. Every nickel minted that year carried a secret inside, not just silver, but purpose. Because this was metal reclaimed for the war effort, designed so the strategic nickel could go to building aircraft, armor, and weapons. Each 1943 coin, therefore, is not merely currency, it's a silent veteran of the Second World War. Now here's where the thrill begins. The 1943 S was minted in limited numbers compared to the Philadelphia issues, and of those, only a fraction survived in fine, collectible condition. Many have been corroded, cleaned, damaged, or simply lost. The few that remain intact with their natural patina and that ghostly emerald toning are treasures beyond measure. Collectors today crave originality. They want coins that look alive, that whisper history when you hold them. This very 1943 S, with its weathered surfaces and aged luster, fits that craving perfectly. And the market knows it. Over the last few years, the year 1943 S has exploded in popularity. Auction houses have watched in disbelief as bids skyrocketed beyond all expectations. Expert appraisers are calling it one of the most undervalued powerhouses in the entire War Nickel series, and now it's catching up fast. The very coin in this fine, aged, authentic condition, smooth, richly toned, with that natural emerald mist, has reached a jaw-dropping market value of $150,000. Yes, you heard that right, $150,000. That's not pocket change. That's a fortune disguised as history. A relic of America's wartime strength that is now turning into a literal treasure in collectors' vaults. And this is real right now, today. Prices are climbing with each new auction, each new discovery, each whisper in collector circles. What used to be a quiet niche has turned into a feverish hunt. The 1943 S. Jefferson Nickel is being watched by serious investors, historians, and treasure hunters alike, because its trajectory shows no sign of slowing. So if you ever find a 1943 nickel, pause. Hold it under the light. Search for that strong, proud S above Monticello. That one tiny letter could change your life story. Never polish it. Never scrub away those emerald hues. That natural toning, that gentle whisper of green is pure history preserved. Protect it in a holder, shield it from moisture, and let it breathe as a piece of living Americana. Because every day you hold on to it, its story and its value grows. This is not fiction. This is the thrill of reality. These are the treasures that hide in plain sight, treasures that connect us directly to the American heartbeat of 1943, to the workers, the soldiers, the families who lived through it all. Every scratch on this coin is a chapter, every shade of rust is a memory, every glint of emerald is a flash of the past saying, I was there. And the best part? This market is alive, values rising, collectors racing, opportunities waiting. The 1943 War nickel is not just a collector's dream, it's a modern-day treasure hunt you can still join. So keep your eyes open, fellow seekers. Because the next coin we're about to uncover, it's even rarer, even more electrifying. And its story might just make the 1943 S look like a warm-up act. Stay with me because here at U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, we are revealing America's hidden fortune, one nickel at a time. And trust me, the best is yet to come. Next coin number 3. The 1944 Jefferson War Nickel. All right, treasure hunters, take a deep breath, because what I'm about to show you might just redefine what you thought a nickel could be worth. The year is 1944. The world is still locked in the greatest conflict of modern history, but the tide is turning. American industry is roaring like never before, victory is on the horizon, and even in the smallest corners of daily life, history is being minted, literally. And out of that roaring fire came one of the most iconic, most mysterious, and most breathtaking treasures of the Jefferson War Nickel series, the 1944 War Nickel. At first glance, it might look like an old relic, its surface smooth and gently wrinkled by time, the front side brushed in that ancient rustic gray tone. Across it danced tiny emerald specks, shimmering like faint stars trapped beneath the metal proof of its long slumber through decades of American history. Flip it over and you will see the same story written on the back, a soft, weathered surface kissed with rusted hues, while the middle area glows with emerald spots that look almost alive. Like this coin still carries the heartbeat of the era it came from. And then, above Monticello, it proudly bears the D mint mark Denver's signature. But this isn't just any mint mark. It's a mark that signifies survival, precision, and rarity. Let's rewind to 1944 for a moment. Nickel, as a metal, was still too valuable to use in coins. It was powering the war machine. So once again, the U.S. Mint turned to the secret silver-copper manganese formula, 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. Every war nickel struck that year was a symbol of national strength, a mix of necessity and innovation. But Denver's mintage that year had something special. Tighter controls, smaller runs, and better preservation in the mountain climate. The result? Fewer coins were struck compared to other mints, and far fewer survived in fine, collectible condition today. That's why collectors whisper about 1944D not just for its metal, but for its soul. Now let's talk about what makes this specific coin absolutely electrifying. You see, when you hold it under a bright light, the emerald patina flickers across its smooth fields like gentle flames. It's not just beautiful, it's unique. That natural toning comes from decades of oxygen and silver reacting over time, creating colors no artist could ever paint. Each emerald spot is a fingerprint of history, an unrepeatable chemical symphony that only time itself could compose. And that's why collectors go wild for this originality. Authenticity. That lived-in beauty you cannot fake. Now here's where things get intense, because this coin isn't just a relic, it's a treasure vault. In the condition you just imagined, fine, naturally aged, with rust-touched surfaces and emerald tones, the 1944 Jefferson War Nickel is commanding a market value of around $160,000. Yes, $160,000 US dollars for a single 5-cent coin born from the fires of World War II. That's not pocket change, that's a legacy. That's the kind of coin that turns collectors into legends, and legends into history. And what is more, the value of this piece is not slowing down. The demand curve is climbing higher each year, and every major coin show sees fewer and fewer of these in private hands. Collectors are holding tight. They know what is coming. This is not hype. This is the reality of an American treasure whose time in the spotlight has just begun. So, if you ever come across a 1944 Jefferson nickel, look closer. Look for that proud D-mint mark. Look for the soft emerald shades that whisper authenticity. Look for that wartime silver glow under the gray. And when you see all that together, congratulations, because you're holding a masterpiece of the United States. Minting history. Never clean it. Never polish away the patina, because that emerald magic is what makes it alive. Protect it, seal it. And if you ever have it appraised, make sure it is handled by a professional who knows how to treat war nickels with respect. These coins are delicate, but their story is powerful, and every small detail can mean the difference between history and fortune. And remember this, these coins were struck during the darkest of times, but they came out shining. Each one is a piece of American resilience, proof that even in war, we created beauty that would last for generations. So the next time you dig through an old box, an attic jar, or your grandparents' collection, pause. Because you just might be staring at a fortune that history has been saving for you. And stick around, because if you thought this 1944D was jaw-dropping, wait till you see coin number 4. What we're about to uncover next is even rarer, even more electrifying, and its story will send chills down your spine. This is U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, where we reveal the real treasures of America every single day. Stay tuned, because the next discovery might just change everything. Next coin number 4, the 1945 S. Jefferson War Nickel. Now let's talk about something that feels like it shouldn't even exist anymore. The year was 1945. World War II was roaring to its end. America was standing tall. And in the midst of San Francisco, something extraordinary was being created, a nickel that would never be made the same way again. This, my friends, is the 1945 S. Jefferson War Nickel, a wartime coin born in a time of chaos, stamped with the S Mint mark of San Francisco, and loaded with a story that's every bit as valuable as the metal inside it. See, during the war, nickel the metal was too important for coinage. It was needed for tanks, armor plating, aircraft, the tools of victory. So the U.S. Mint did something revolutionary. They changed the entire composition of the 5-cent coin. Instead of pure nickel, they used a special wartime alloy, 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. Yes, you heard that right, silver. Every Jefferson War nickel minted between 1942 and 1945 contains real silver. And the 1945S stands as one of the final war nickels ever struck, making it a historical farewell to an era when America minted money out of necessity and bravery. Now, the coin I'm holding, the one you see on your screen, has lived through time itself. The front side, the obverse, is smooth and weathered, showing the faint but proud image of Thomas Jefferson, a face aged by history and softened by countless hands. You can see the small scratches, the gentle rust like patina, that orange-brown shade whispering tales of time. It's not damage, it's character. It's the voice of 80 years of circulation, speaking through the metal. Flip it over and there's Monticello, Jefferson's home, etched faintly but beautifully on the reverse. The surface again is smooth, almost satin-like, kissed by age and wear. And right above the dome, standing proudly, is the large S Mint mark, the mark of San Francisco, that small letter which transforms an ordinary coin into an artifact of national heritage. But what makes the 1945 S truly special? It's not just the silver or the year, or even the mint mark. It's the end of war legacy. This was the last year these wartime nickels were produced. When the war ended, nickel returned to its industrial use, and these silver alloy nickels vanished quietly from everyday pockets. Now fast forward to today, collectors everywhere are scrambling for this coin. Why? Because most were melted down, lost, or destroyed. Finding one in good condition like this fine example is becoming like chasing a ghost. Each year, fewer surface. Each year, the prices climb higher. And if you think this is just another old coin story, think again, this isn't fiction. The market has gone absolutely wild. In today's market, a fine condition 1945 S Jefferson War nickel like this one can reach a staggering $155,000. Yes, you heard that right, a single nickel, worth more than a small fortune. It's like holding a piece of American history that pays you back in treasure. And the craziest part? The value of this coin is still climbing. Experts are calling it one of the fastest growing wartime collectibles in the entire U.S. Market? The numbers don't lie. Prices have been rising year after year, and if you're lucky enough to own one, You're sitting on what could be tomorrow's next six-figure legend. This is not hype, this is reality. The collector's demand is fierce, the rarity undeniable, and the legacy unmatched. The silver inside may shimmer, but it is the story that shines brightest. So, what can you take away from this? If you are a collector or even just someone curious, check your coin rolls, your old jars, your inherited boxes. Look for that bold S above Monticello, the 1945 date, and that smooth silver gray finish. Because if you find one, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding history, value, and legacy in your hand. And here's a little tip from me to you. Always keep your wartime nickels in a protected holder, especially if you've got a 1945 S. Silver reacts to air, and that delicate toning is part of its identity. Preserve it, and you preserve the story. Now imagine this one day, that same coin could be worth even more. We are talking investment-level appreciation. Don't underestimate it. The 1945 S. Jefferson War Nickel is not just a collectible, it's a time capsule of American courage, scarcity, and wealth. And remember, I'm not here to sell you dreams. I'm here to show you the truth that's already happening in the collector's market. The 1945 S is a hidden gem that's been quietly turning ordinary people into treasure owners. So keep watching, keep searching, and keep believing, because you never know when your next pocket find could turn into the discovery of a lifetime. And don't forget, U.S. Coin Worth Secrets is freshly updated every single day with real stories, real coins, and real value. So hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let's keep uncovering the treasures buried in America's change together. Because remember, sometimes the greatest fortunes come in the smallest forms. This is one of them. Next coin, number 5. The 1943 P. Jefferson War Nickel, the treasure that time forgot. Ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at the grand finale. You've seen rarity. You've felt history. But what you are about to witness right now is beyond all of that. Because this right here is the 1943 P. Jefferson War Nickel, and its story is pure electricity. Now, before you even think this is not just another old coin, let me stop you right there. The 1943 P is not just rare, it's iconic. It's the heart of the entire War Nickel series. The first full year of America's wartime silver production, the mint mark that started a revolution in numismatics, and today, one of the most sought-after small treasures in the United States. Take a look at the one we are talking about tonight. The front smooth as silk, time-worn and whispering with stories. Tiny wrinkles and hairline scratches glide across the surface, each one a tiny echo of the hands that held it long before any of us were born. That soft rust-like shade that wraps around it, that's not damage, that's character. And those gray-black marks that you see scattered across the face, they are the beautiful fingerprints of silver aging through 82 years of life. They are what collectors call battle scars of authenticity. Now, turn it over. The reverse is just as breathtaking. The surface smooth, a bit wrinkled by age, those same rust tones spread like smoke over the metal, and under the light, the gray-black marks shimmer faintly like old silver catching its breath. And there it is, right above Monticello, the proud P mint mark, the unmistakable signature of Philadelphia. The mark that told the world, in 1943, America is at war and every piece of silver counts. Let's rewind to that year for a moment, 1943. The United States is all in on the war effort. Factories are running 24/7. Ships are being built by the hundreds, and every ounce of nickel is too valuable for coins. So the mint switches again using 56% copper, 35% silver, 9% manganese. Every single 1943 P nickel carries silver from America's reserves, and every single one was born with purpose. But here's where it gets thrilling. Out of the millions made, only a handful survived the passage of time in collectible condition. Many were worn smooth, others were melted down for their silver when the war ended. And fewer, still far fewer, retained the deep, shadowy beauty that makes this one so mesmerizing. Collectors call the 1943 P the Silver Heart Nickel. Why? Because it was the first coin to truly embody the spirit of sacrifice, turning precious metal into the lifeblood of victory. And now, after more than 8 decades, it has turned into one of the most valuable Jefferson nickels ever discovered. This coin in fine condition, naturally aged with its gray-black hues and time-born patina, now holds a breathtaking market value of $180,000. Yes, you heard me right, $180,000. That's not an old coin, that's a hidden fortune. That's not pocket change, that's a national treasure in disguise. And here's what's even more exciting. The value is still climbing. Collectors, investors, and history lovers are snapping up authentic 1943 War nickels wherever they can find them. Auction prices are breaking new records. Experts are calling it one of the most explosive value coins in the American vintage market right now. And this is not hype, it is truth. These coins are becoming symbols of survival, patriotism, and American craftsmanship. Just think about it. This small piece of metal once used to buy coffee, gum, or a newspaper now represents the story of a nation at war, a mint in crisis, and a legacy forged in silver. And it's sitting there quietly, like a sleeping treasure waiting to be rediscovered. Now, if you have been watching and you are wondering, could I have one of these? Listen carefully. When you're searching through old coin rolls, jars, or family collections, look for that bold P above Monticello. That's your first clue. Then check the toning, those dark gray shadows, that deep-aged silver glow. If it feels old and looks untouched, you might be staring at something truly special. Never clean it, never buff it. Keep it safe. Because with every year that passes, its value grows like a sleeping giant waking up. And remember, these aren't just coins. They're time capsules. They are pieces of America's heartbeat. This coin, the 1943 Jefferson War Nickel, is the perfect finale because it represents everything this series stands for: courage, change, innovation, and lasting worth. So when you hold one of these, don't just see a coin. See a story. See history that is alive, breathing, and still growing in value every single day. And to all my viewers out there, if tonight's journey through these ultra-rare Jefferson War nickels opened your eyes to the treasures hiding in plain sight, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because on U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, I bring you the freshest, most mind-blowing discoveries every single day. We're not just talking about coins. We're uncovering America's hidden fortune, one nickel at a time. And who knows, the next big treasure might already be in your hand.